get some questions in. So, Sherwin, you came up with the idea. You said, I want to have TaTa Campu on. And I was like, okay, good. Because I was telling TaTa Campu, I'm new to his world. So I was really excited about learning about him, what he does, what he's all about. But since he's your guest, you brought him on,
Right.
introduce.
Introduce the man with the master spiritual plan, the one, the only, the man, the child of Elegua, TaTa Campu.
Hello.
Say hello.
You just want to say salam alaikum, alaikum salam.
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna be on. So salam alaikum to all my people. Alafia, share everything good. If you don't know me, I was asked to be on the show. I'm very excited. Anybody got any questions? There's no you guys want to ask about TaTa Campu, I'm here to answer.
Okay, so everybody, we got Yvette Wyatt, we got Jennifer, we got a ton of people in. So you guys, if you have questions for TaTa Campu, please go ahead and post them so we can ask them why he's on. Now, my first question is, since I'm new to this with you, where did you start your spiritual journey?
I'm from Brooklyn, so it happened in Brooklyn. So like I was like behind like in a Flatbush projects of Murder on Broadway. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I was raised in like the slums. I'm talking about I'm a gutter baby. So my whole life, like it was always like I had to get it how you live. And like we had botanicas all around, like all around us, like there was spirituality everywhere we went to. And I was scared of it before I got into it. I was scared. I'm like, man, these voodoo people. And then you be hearing the chant at a temple. And I was a little shorty. Oh, hell no, I ain't fucking with them or nothing like that. And then I used to watch PJs for that show. The PJs. You guys probably too young to remember.
Oh, I remember that.
Hey, remember the voodoo lady?
Yep. Yep, the chicken buns.
You remember the voodoo lady? So I was always
lost.
Oh, you lost? She's like, I'm lost. So I was always scared of spirituality. And then like I was fighting court cases. Like I was fighting mad court cases and stuff. So I found my godfather and he was showing me the light. Like he was teaching me about like, you know, Santa Muerte, what she was about, learned about her. And then that's when I got scratched. And then eventually I got crowned. But all of that, you know, through all that process, like I was always scared to do it because it was costing me money, you know, yeah. But at the end result of it was, you know, it put me in the place I am now where I can help others. Took me a long time to get here, but I think I told I was like everybody compares me to Candelo because he's like the Michael Jordan, right, of spirituality. Because the way, baby, I'm Candelo Gambisa, Candelo. You know what I'm saying? So
yes. What's his favorite thing? I'll make you a star. That's Candelo. That's TaTa Candelo.
So you know, everybody telling me that I was him. Like I was always like, why the hell everybody comparing me to this guy who's like 35 years old? And then I came to the conclusion is like he's the only one that they know is raw and uncut. So now here I come. You know, I'm 30 years old. I'm raw and I'm uncut. And then now I understand, like, you know, people only know what they know. They only knew Candelo for such a long time in our world, you know, in the ATR world. And now here I come. So I'm like, oh, now I know why they kept on saying I was like him. Because if you look at Candelo, we're like mad similar. You feel me?
It is true. And I even made that comparison too when I first kind of came to your page because I loved your energy. I loved what you were posting on your page. And you are similar in the way that you present, which is good because you're very charismatic. That's the first thing that I noticed about you is that literally you kind of stand out but you feel genuine. You feel like a genuine spiritual person because we got some people on there that we can fake the funk, we can put the head wraps on and, you know, do it, but it's not genuine. And that's what I originally liked about your energy. So I know you started your journey. How old were you when you decided to become Scratch and everything? Because you look really young. And I mean, spirituality, that means nothing. You could be an old soul, but you look so young. So how old were you when you started the journey?
So the whole spirituality thing, like you talk about just ATRs or just like experience like dying and all that good stuff. You want me to talk about like death experience, or just like how I started in my ATRs?
You can. When did spirit come to you? When did spirit come to you and you started your journey?
You got it? Well, like 10 years ago is when I really got heavy into things. Because before then, like I said, I was always scared. But I did my ceremony for my leques when I was like 15. But I never took it serious. I was just wearing them for protection because I didn't know what they exactly meant. You know, like, you know how when you get your leques and you get like, you know, they give you the ceremony, you get your warriors and all that good jazz. I did that, but I only did that because I was didn't want to go to jail. You know, I was thinking that they were gonna save me from like hustling and shit like that. That's how I started. Honest, like I got into spirituality to save me from court cases and save me from hustling, save me from like, you know, from all the bullshit that I was going through, the police, other gang members, and all that. So I never really took serious. I never became the person who I am today, who I was back then. So like who I was back then, I was real wild and rambunctious. I was like, I always thought like I'm moved to the 20th, baby. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what's up? You know, so and you know, 10 years ago is when I really sat down with my padrino. He was like, yo, it's time to take it serious because you're not 15. You know what I'm saying? You 25 years old. I was 25 years old at the time. You 25 years old, you know, you got kids, you know, you out here gangbanging for people that is fucking your baby moms, you know, and he put that in my head like, damn, I'm being loyal to people that are being dishonest to me, yo. You know what I mean? Like I'm dying for these colors and these colors are just pissing on me, you know, disrespecting my mom, you know what I'm saying? Like I put it out there like my mom was real bad out there, you know what I'm saying? My aunt was real bad out there. And people that were supposed to be my boys are selling my own family drugs. They're killing my family. You know what I mean? And when my godfather told me that and set me down and, you know, he broke me, you know, he broke me and make me who I am. And I appreciate that because he had to tell me those things. He had to sit me down. He like, look, if you get crowned, you can't be doing the same shit you're doing now. You know what I mean? Like, look, we get you scratched, you can't be doing the shit you're doing right now. Like this is the world you're about to get into, not the world that you know. So the world that you know got to go out the door. So when I really took it serious and all the money I made from making drugs and shit like that, instead of buying them Timberlands, them 180 Timberlands, I started saving that money up to get, you know, to get scratched, to get my crown. You know what I mean? Like those are the time. You know, I didn't have the money. I was married at the time too. You know what I mean? My ex-wife wasn't really digging the tradition. She was calling it voodoo. She was saying that the reason why we going through a little struggle we going through is because of the tradition. But you know, people don't understand. They don't know what they don't understand. So when she was doing all that, you know what I mean? I was so focused on changing my life around, but she was in love with this gangster. You know, she was in love with.
She was in love with the lifestyle that was created.
She was in love with the street me, mind you. We in Brooklyn, I'm talking about we riding. We not taking the subway. We riding. Boom. I'm blasting music. We doing what we gotta do. You know, I'm known, she's known. And now here it is where I'm trying to take a step back and be unknown and become known in the spiritual world and leave the street life alone. And that kind of broke up my family because she was in love with me and I wasn't in love. So I wasn't giving her that attention. So she went to the next good nigga. And now, but that by saying that is to say there's more people in the youth like me that are coming in right. There's a kid that's 25 years old, 26 years old going through the same shit I went through. You know what I mean? Like I got all these tattoos. I break the mold. I break the mold of spirituality. People look at me, they're like, you a spiritualist? Or females, they're like, damn, you know? So it's like, so, you know, and
Go ahead.
You know, and it's just like, you know, going through all that and taking spirituality and just being in it for 10 years and only being crowned for 2 and going on my 3rd birthday, you know what I mean? Like I'm saluting everybody that's already in here. So I'm bound down to Ifa, you know, not to Ifa, but you know, to Oshun, you know, Candelo, you know, to Chango. I mean, these are people that I look up to, you know, I look up to you and even Sherwin, like everybody in spirituality, no matter how long you've been into it, I always take things from people, like whether it's business, whether it's personality, and I take that and I try to make it my own. And okay, this is why they do that in voodoo. You know, this is why, like when I did, I went to a Labe Tessem with your godfather, he couldn't do my hair because I was crowned, so he did my shoulders, and that was like a different experience. I never been to anything like that, and that was so beautiful. You know what I mean? And just like doing things like that and coming and being open to different traditions and different spirituality traditions. It's like, you know, my godfather's like, you know, now you can do what you got to do because I can see the world now. You know what I mean? This is me. I got my own business, but just because I got my own business person, you know, he's not telling me like, you know, some godfathers be like, you can't do that. You can't do that. You got to do this. But, you know, he's seen me. He's seen all the fuck ups. And now he's like pretty like, all right, cool. Like you doing okay. I'm proud of you. And I never had people to say I'm proud of you. You know, the only people that said they were proud, you know, not even to this day, you know, my mom is sober and everything I post, you'll see me post pictures and stuff. But, you know, she wants to be part of the tradition, but she's only doing it to get that relationship with her son. You know what I mean? And this is why I tell my story to everybody, because a lot of people don't have mothers out there, don't have fathers. Like I never had a father. Like my mom is my dad. Oh, and my was like the kingpin in New York. You know what I mean? She doing her thing. So I never got to idolize like people like my father, my uncle. I had to idolize like Patrick Ewing or idolize rappers or some shit like Jay-Z when they were doing like their little beefs and shit. And then, you know, listening to lyrics on rap, I thought that was the way you're supposed to live life. So I'm living what people are rapping, but I'm not being a good father. That makes sense? Because how can I be a good father when I never had a father to be a? So I think the things I'm doing, you know what I mean?
Right. I think a lot of us, you know, people get this misconception that you come into spirituality like Catholicism, like you taking an oath of poverty or chastity or whatever. People don't understand that it's born out of adversity. That's how you get strong. That's how spirit tests you. You were being tested before you even made the decision. Your path was already chosen before you even knew what the path was. So you're really walking into your destiny. You're walking into who you are. So I think that's a really great testimony, because some people are like, you know, I drink, I can't be a mambo, or I can't be this and that. And I'm like, why? I drink, I curse, I smoke weed. Why we can't do that?
Right.
So I think people have to kind of come off of that misconception of holier than thou. And I'm glad that you shared their testimony. We real people. We cry like everybody else. We do illegal shit like everybody else. We do stuff. You know, spirit might handle us differently, you guys, but this is real. This is what it is. I love your energy. Now, before everybody, we're not doing readings right now. This is for TaTa Campu. So if you have questions and you want to talk to him, any type of questions you want, he's open to it. Sherwin, you got questions?
I'm thinking.
He's like, yo, I got it. Let me think.
He wanted you, and now he gonna go quiet. I want to know about the Botanica, because we have a Botanica here in Humble. I live in a little city right outside of Houston, and we have one Botanica. They not open. You gotta call to get into the door. You gotta damn near be frisked. They spray you down with Florida water before you can even come in. There's no products in there. They go to the back. They pick, if you say I want a candle, they go to the back. They pick the candle out. You buy the candle, they push you out the door. I'm like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah,
I want to look. I want to touch. So how did you get started in your community? Did you feel like you needed one, or what made you open your own?
Over here in Ohio, there was only 2 botanicas out here. There was one that is by people who are in the Catholic religion, so they're in our faith, like our statues, the little baths and stuff. They're using it basically for their own profit. So when I came out here from Brooklyn, I would like ask these little 2 botanica questions, because I already came up here. I was about to open my own shit from the beginning. I just had to find a spot, you know,
right?
Because it's cheap out. So I would ask them questions, and both of them they would intermix the tradition. So you would have people telling you about 21 division voodoo, mixing in with palo, mixing in with cariocha, mixing the orishas with the muertos and all this. I'm like, yo, these people are so phony. So I got blessed, yo. I got blessed with like 1,000 square foot storefront for like $400 a month. So I was like, yo. So I jumped. Yeah. So I jumped. I would have
been in it too. $400 a month?
Hell yeah.
So it was like gutted. There was no walls, no nothing. So I do like maintenance work. So I did like the drywall, I did all the drawings and everything in it. So I made it into like a homey feel botanica where you go in where it's kind of a mix of a botanica, but yet like you feel like you at home, you know? So I put like where people come in, they're like, oh shit, this is a botanica, but it's not dark. It's not dark. And like when you go to a lot of botanica, dirty like that much like dust beyond the damn shelves. You have products there like looking like the shit's moldy. Like I didn't want that. So when I got blessed with this, like I wanted to specialize in something besides our soperas. I wanted to specialize, even though you have to carry your necessities for spirituality, I wanted to like stand out. So I'm like, damn, you know what? The botanicas don't got like a clothing line. Let me see if this will work. So like I will always see white around like protected by like Hecate or protected by Mother Earth and shit like that. I'm like, yo, that man, I can do something with that. So I'm like, yo, I'm protected by brujeria, witchcraft. And then I did a prototype with the Motown Witch's husband, Mr. Motown Witch. Mm-hmm. And he did my shirts and my hoodies, and
he's so creative. He's so freaking creative. When I met him in Denver, he was like, I do this, and that. And I was like, okay. Then he showed me something that he created, a box that he made. And I was like, damn, they were really well together. He and Yvette, I mean, really, that's like an empire. That's a power couple. Because he's like pulling up the rear of that situation where it's like, I got you. We're going to do this. We're going to build on it. What about dating for you in this time? Because I know a lot of people, especially when it comes to spiritual workers, like you said, your marriage doesn't mean your first marriage. I'm already giving you your second. Your marriage. It was like his first marriage, and I was like, he didn't wait. So
you see my glasses drop, didn't you? You see I dropped my glasses because I knew it was coming.
It was a passing thing. I don't know what happened. It was a passing thing. So I noticed that when you, like you said, when you go into your spirituality, the whole thing about dating and connecting with people is that if they're not on the same path, if they don't understand the path, if they're not practicing, it gets a little bit more difficult. So do you come across that too?
Like, the biggest thing is like people always look at me like a weirdo from the jump. Like, you know, when you're at work, like besides the dating thing, just who I am as a person and being spiritually, especially over here in Ohio, it's really not that big. So being that as a weirdo, everything is just hard in general. Even though I have my own store, I have my own little people, you know, I have my own little community here. But everything is hard over here. Everything is like pulling teeth. Like every avenue that I've ever been put in, I never had a straightaway shot. So this is nothing new. You feel me? So like I don't know, man. Like it's more me. It's more me. Let me keep it real. It's more me than anybody else because I get real bored real fast. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I don't have somebody that's strong-minded and put me in my fucking place and I can run all over you, I'm gonna hit and I'm gonna dip.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. I completely understand that. Completely.
Oh boy.
Hey, look at Jeremy. Look at Jeremy. He like shit. Before I met my old lady, I was the same way.
You know, he a Libra male now. He still got them hoish tendencies. I don't care.
Whoa.
Come on now. We gotta be real.
We both Libras. They're gonna have
both Libras. Come on, let's be honest. We can be faithful, but sometimes you still on.
Just throw me under that purple bus, Dick.
Hey, I'm with you though. I'm riding the bus with you. So you got questions? You got questions, bro?
Yeah. A lot of people, you know, we see online all the time, and you know, since you're crowned, we have a lot of people that want to set up altars for orishas. Everybody's in love with Oshun. Everybody wants Ogu and stuff like that. How would you explain to these people, you know, that do these things, you know, the proper etiquette when it comes to setting up an altar and stuff like that, and they're not even crowned?
Yeah, man. The best thing somebody can do is get with somebody that's a high priest in the tradition, yo. Like, when people come to my store, I don't even recommend them to do a little altar of nothing because I feel like if you don't know what you're messing with, you're gonna fuck yourself up. So you need something like I needed guidance on my little path. You know what I'm saying? My padrino never said, yo, you can go grab that Elegua statue or not. You know what I'm saying? If you playing with fire, you're gonna get burned. So you want to go to somebody that's very, very trained, like a high priest. You want to go to a babala. You want to go to a padrino. You want to go to somebody that's really known in the community as well, and they have an edict that you can learn from that edict too. You don't want to just go and just be this ain't not a dog nobody, but this ain't Wicca where I can just put a Hecate statue and boom, I got all these candles. I think got my bag of come like that. You know what I'm saying? Like why they gonna come like that? You know? Ceremony. It's got to be a ceremonial process, and that's what makes me pissed off sometimes when somebody come in. They be like, I had a dream of Oya. I'm the child of Oya. I'm like, oh hell. So you know, me as I am, I want to be like, bitch, you crazy? But me, the store owner, is like, I got these Oya beads. I got this Oya set. What's up? Hey. You know what I'm saying?
I get that. I do. I get that.
You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't gonna go through the ceremonial process. You know, if they come in at me to the store, I'm like, man, there's so much you can tell somebody. They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. They're gonna buy on the end.
Absolutely. My thought on that is they're gonna buy it somewhere. They're gonna buy it somewhere. Even if you tell people, don't fuck with that. Don't fuck with that deity. Don't set that altar up. They're gonna go purchase the stuff, and they're gonna do it anyway. So they might as well get it from your shop. You might as well make some money off of that because it's going to be certain people, no matter what you say, they're going to do it. You know, we've seen a lot of posts where a lot of people are like, okay, I work with this deity and I got hurt, or I you know, called this spirit or summoned this spirit and you know, got. So I think the thing about it is people don't understand the sacrifices and the ritual of getting scratched or, you know, going through Konzo, the things, why you go through that stuff, why you become a priest, and the knowledge. It's not something that you just wake up and, oh, I decide today I'm going to be a Mambo or a TaTa. Right. It comes with a lot of sacrifices. You sacrificed a lot before you even came into the tradition, and it was spirit making.
Both of y'all, I respect y'all a lot because I asked Sam Moy, I'm like, yo, so the process I'm being a Hugan and a Mambo, is it more intense than doing like Rayamento? He was like, 9 times and more intense. I'm like, oh my nigga, I'm good. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not, and you know what? He telling you the truth. I remember when we were getting ready to go to Konzo, and I called my bro. I messaged him, and I was like, you know, Sherwin, what goes on in Konzo? Of course, he wasn't gonna tell me. He said, all I can tell you is bring some extra Florida water. So I was like, what? He wouldn't tell me anything, and I'm glad he didn't, because had he told me, I don't know if I would have got on the plane.
Bro, when your papa said that to me, he was like 9 times more intense. I'm like, Rayamento? When I heard that, because when I went to Rayamento, I was like, afterwards, you know, it's a great feeling, but I was like, wait, you know, getting what I gotta get. But when he said you guys got 9 times more, because he's a little too, 9 times more intense than getting Rayamento, I'm like, yo, I respect everybody who got in front of their name that's official, and Mambo in front of their name that's official, but it's not for me. I couldn't do it.
It may not be for you now. It may not be for you now.
I was like, whew. But I respect y'all because that's an intentional initiation. That's why I give you guys so much praise, man. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna drink one today.
Well, thank you. You know, but the same thing with you. I respect you too. Here's the thing. I think a lot of people that don't have priesthood, or they're not priests, don't understand what goes into doing it. That's why I get really irritated when people are calling themselves a Mambo and they're not a Mambo, or they calling themselves a Nugan and they're not a Nugan. And it's like, that's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful because there's so much that goes into it, that's sacrifice, and you admire people that went through it the right way. So I think a lot of people, they kind of feel like I can do it. I can just call myself this and whatever. It's disrespectful, but you know, spirit take care of that. I don't even trip about it anymore. Spirit will take care of that. Let's see, we got questions. We got everybody quiet. Like what? TaTa Campu come on and y'all just got quiet? What happened?
Yeah, they're quiet. My next,
When they see a daddy, they gonna be quiet. They're gonna turn into subs.
I think some, you know, I think they just kind of, I don't know what's going on. They mesmerized by your beauty, TaTa, because they speechless, I guess. What we talking about, people? What we talking About.
You know he got that light skin glow. You know he got.
Oh my God. 2 light-skinned men, y'all. It's a hot mess. 2 light-skinned men. It's a hot freaking mess. So Sharon, what you got? I know you was getting ready to ask something before I interrupted you.
Could you explain to, because a lot of people, they hear Santa Muerte, they hear, you know, they hear it all over the place. You know, they see the statues and stuff like that. How would you, how would you narrow her down where people would be can digest the information better?
For information with Santa Muerte, like one gotta sit down and understand, like that's even being a devotee for Santa Muerte is a life-changing experience. Like you gotta sit down and really be like, yo, am I ready to give a lot of my own time into being a devotee for Santa Muerte? Because Santa Muerte is it's a deaf energy, bro. You know, she's a deaf energy, so she requires a lot. So when we come here, like when you come to your altar and you come in and praying and everything with Santa Muerte, you have to be devoted, bro, 100%, because she takes, and you gotta remember she'll fuck you up at the same time. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think that because she's a new fashion statement that they can put an altar up today and then take it down tomorrow and expect no repercussions coming through. So when I always tell people that are interested in Santa Muerte, like they want to sit down and ask themselves, are they ready to get into this lifestyle? Because it's not oldie and talking about, oh, I had a dream about her, or oh, I'm having dream experiences of my parents that passed away, so I know Santa Muerte is close by. Nah, like you have to really understand like the situation. Like, is this what you really want? You know, and a lot of people don't really want this lifestyle. They just doing it for. And I feel like with people like you, Tanya, and you guys, Godfather, like a lot of people like try to gravitate to us for clout, and they want that clout, but don't want what you call it, don't want to learn or take the time to even be a beginner. They want to run before they crawl, and especially with the whole Santa Muerte swag, everybody wants to think that they can come and, oh, I'm a devotee, but not take the steps for it. So first thing I always tell people is just make sure what you want.
Go ahead. That's fine.
Go ahead, mommy. Go ahead.
I think people don't realize that service to spirit is a lifetime commitment. It's like my Lawa. I feed them. I get up. I take care of them like they family. This is an everyday thing. Their altars are clean. Their food is cooked. Things are put up there. If I was to go ahead and say like we do Jesus, help me. I'm gonna pray to you for 5 minutes because I need you, and then after you give me something what I want, then I'm gonna go ahead and close the door until I need you again. People don't understand you can't do that with certain spirits. You shouldn't with any, but especially with spirits that are serious, that can be hot, that do things that people know do things. You have to be really cautious. He's right. You can't put the t-shirt on, and do the selfies on Instagram, and then you got the altar full of dust. You're not feeding. You're not doing this and that. You can get fucked up like that. I always say people cool with witchcraft until they start burning us at the stake. Everybody want to be a witch until they start persecuting, and then everybody gonna snap out of it.
Right.
But the devotees and the ones that made a lifetime commitment will die for their spirits. 100%. I would die for my spirits. So people have to understand that.
And I always tell die for a color. So if I would put myself on the front line for a color, putting myself 10 toes down for my spirits, because like the color never saved me. My spirits has been saving me back, like left me out of jail. You know what I'm saying? And the one time when I'll tell you a real life story. So when me and my ex-wife first, when we broke up, you know how, well, there's always that one situation where you got broke up for good. Well, the first, you know that situation. Don't act like you don't know. So when I broke up for good, found out, people doing her thing, when I beamed that bitch against the wall. BAM! So when I beamed it against the wall, I broke. So she called, the police. The police never touched my electus. And I was able, while I was going through the little court case, to wear my electus every day while I was locked up. So that showed me right there that when I was at my lowest of my lows, what all my dude was trying to still fuck my baby moms, the people that had my back were on right here. on my chest. And from that day forward, that was another changing experience. Like from that day forward, I understand that this is where I'm supposed to be at. You know what I mean? Like, and I scared because the gang is blood in, blood out. I wasn't even scared if they came for me because I was about to do a whole 360, and I knew that if I did everything right, and with doing the whole getting crowned, all that I won't have nothing to worry about. And look, they took me out the situation. I never ran from the situation. I always did everything head on, and I was always honest. And by me being honest in the streets, made me be honest in spirituality. And I've been doing nothing but great, ever since. And my testimony, like you said, is a great testimony, but I want to help so many people because Candelo is right now trying to get the youth, right? But like Halloween is already the youth. You know what I mean? Like I already 7-year-olds that already been through the shit that I'm going through. I got kids that come into my store like, yo, man, you used to be a gangbang, and that attracts them, right? The would attract them, but Marisha is gonna grab them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Why grab you? Because you're gonna see me and I'm gonna laugh and be like, yo, what's good, bro? But when you get into a serious conversation with me, I'm gonna be like, get over here, like Scorpion.
Absolutely.
That's one. That's why I love. That's why I said. That's why I want to put my spirit second, third. If there's a girl that don't like my spirit, she can kick rocks. You know what I mean? Ain't no split is more important than my spirit.
Absolutely. You hit it on point. Spirit is gonna take care of you. They really will take care of you. That's your family. That's your blood. So people need to understand that. I think spirit uses you where you are to reach people. That's why I say you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to come clean. Sometimes you have to have a history. You have to have a past so that people can understand and they can connect, and that makes you real. Anybody that comes on and they're like, oh, I'm clean as a driven snow. No, that's not people. This is real life. Yeah. So I'm glad that you're reaching out. What are you doing in your community? What you got going on in the community?
Well, the most important, I try to take care of like the kids, because I was one of those kids. So now as a business owner, I take what I've been through and I try to help those people. So we have a really bad thing with inner city kids who are starving because their mothers are addicts, because we have a heroin epidemic in our community.
Damn. In Ohio?
Hell yeah. So heroin is taking this shit, because remember, you got New York on the East Coast, you got Chicago on the Central, Ohio's in the middle, so all the drugs come through here. So if the Chicago to New York, you got to make that stop in Ohio, and vice versa from New York to Chicago. So what I do is I go and I make like real big flyers. You know how people have like sandwich boards? On my sandwich boards, I put donation for kids. So then all these people that know me from the internet come and just drop off mad clothes, and then for those mad the women's shelter that like beatered and battered women from domestic violence, I go there. I go to like there's another one called transitional housing for women that don't got their kids but get to see their kids periodically on the weekends. So I give them clothes, so when they see their kids, they can give their kids the clothes. So it looks like they're doing something.
That's amazing.
So that's what I'm doing in my community, you know what I mean? Or I'll have like little like we call them empanadillas, the Spanish people, like the half moons, the little half moons that you fry them and you have like meeting them. I have little fundraisers like that, and the money I get from that, like I'll let's say like if you came to my store and you need a surgery, I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna do a fundraiser for you. I'm just gonna do the fundraiser, and then I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna give you the money. That's what I do a lot.
That's a true priest. I think the thing about it is people, they look at the title and they, they want the public recognition that comes with that, but they don't understand the things that are going on behind the scene that nobody ever hears about. And it's because that's where spirit leads you. That's where you're the most helpful at. I'm really impressed. I really am. You got me almost teary-eyed when you were talking over here. I was like, damn, I need to step up my game. But that's so impressive to me, because you're right. There's so much that could be done that needs to be done. And I think sometimes we get caught up in bullshit, our own stuff that we don't realize. I didn't realize until this pandemic that there are children that don't eat. Yeah. The only time they eat is when they go to school. I was completely like, what? What the? Because I mean, I didn't know that existed. So it was like things are coming out, and it's like, okay, so now we got to do this. We got to reach out. We got to contribute to this because it's needed. But I'm so impressed. I really am. Let me see if I can get some questions.
And see, I would like to do stuff like that around here, but the biggest issue around here in the South is too much racism.
Yeah.
There's too much
anyway,
racism.
though. Do it anyway. I think people, that's a cap to me to stop you from doing certain things. But there are organizations that will work with you. You like you say, you a new gun. You were gonna sure when you step in there and you throw your balls on the table and you like, this is what I'm gonna do.
It's a nuts hang.
Really? Not around here. I would prefer, like, if anything, it would be somewhere like Atlanta, New Orleans, something like that, and then would move back towards this way. But right now, the way things are, where I am, it really wouldn't go anywhere.
More racist? You're experiencing more racism there where you're at?
Yeah, it's more racism. It's more racism, and it's everybody's pitted against one another. You have more churches fighting each other than just about as same as the spiritual community online and stuff that you see. It'll just be one big old blow up, and then and then with the whole Corona thing, it would just die. So I would rather work my way up and then come back this way, if anything. So, but yeah, that is truly, one of the signs of a priest that TaTa Campu is saying, that it's all about community.
Mm-hmm. I think people don't realize, with titles, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it. Not only to, the people that you deal with, but to your spirits. It's a whole thing. And I think, the test to do things and get things done is kind of what builds you. It builds your character. It builds your strength as a priest. There are things like you say, you've been officially your title 3 years, right? So I think people don't understand, what is it to become a proper Mambo and Nugon? What Papa says, 7 years?
7 years.
7 years. So I'm 3 years in, which means we still got stuff to learn. We still got stuff to do. We still got things that we have to go through that makes us stronger. So I think some of the challenges that we're facing right now actually are going to make us stronger priests. I really do, because it's even awakening me more. Mm-hmm. So I'm really, really impressed.
It have to, because we're in a time now where your title, your title is just that. Is what you do behind that title is what's making the difference. You see a lot of people in the spiritual community that had all these titles, and it's being crushed by this pandemic. It's crushing them. They're freaking out. They don't know what to do. You have people that once upon a time say, "Oh well, we're gonna do this prayer service such as." Now they're quiet. They're not saying anything, not doing anything. It is. I make it my business, as TaTa Campu, as you, Candelo, Ifa, everyone that's stepping up there and building each other up, lending that positive energy. That's what we need to do. We're building each other up, we're healing each other, and we're healing the community. That's what it's all about.
Like, even with my title, like, sometimes I just go and help people because I want to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and when I tell people, like, yo, I in mayonnaise sandwiches, they be like, no, not you. Look at the way you dress. I'm like, yo, like, the way I dress now is not how I dressed when I was a shorty. And then, like, breaking down and having the lingo that you can actually relate to somebody that's, like, struggling. You be like, yo, ma, like, I've been through it. I've been through the struggle. I know what hungry, yo, ma. I know what it is to see mom dudes get slapped over the face. You know what I mean? And having those relatable issues with people that are going through the situation that you already went through, it just shows how much you as a person, not just as a high priest, but just as a person. And as we get older and wiser, and we keep on learning from your elders, you know what I'm saying? This community growing, and I'm just so blessed to have people like you guys around me, and having like all the elders around me, and having all my senior citizens like Condelo around me. You know?
I'm waiting for him. He must not be on here, because I was gonna say if he was on here, he would jump on these Say senior citizen.
You know,
I
like
still think he got it going on. He say, shoot, he's still rolling.
Oh, Candelo.
Right.
Hey, he a sharpshooter. You know what I'm saying?
Look, TaTa Campu, don't make me spit my tea all on this thing now. I'm trying to hold it together. So let's look into, somebody was asking about wanting to learn. Now we know right now we got everybody doing Zoom and putting classes up and everything. Are you doing any classes? Are you expanding right now?
Yeah, like I always try to do classes with different people, because like I'm just now getting hip to like the social like Zoom and all that stuff. So like now I'm like, that's why I'm doing coast to coast, like bigger things, so people can actually see me and ask little questions, because like I'm always busy at the shop. So I always tell people like the little bit of classes I do, I try to put my whole heart, like you guys giving me this interview, I try to get my whole heart and soul in it, so somebody's watching it, they know like, damn, like, you know, when he teaches, like I'm teaching from my heart, or I'm talking from my heart. So I don't really have like a set date where I'll be like, yo, June 25th, except for speaking with the older Campu, June 7th. You know, that's the only thing I got set right now is with Condelo. Me and Condelo will be talking about shooting this shit, talking about you know, Santa Muerte.
That's gonna be epic. I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be good. You got
crazy.
A lot of fans. You got a lot of people that already follow you, but a lot of people are saying they're really impressed with your humility, how down to earth you are. So I feel like a lot of people are really relating to you, and that's what I like first about your energy, because I stalked your page for a little bit to see, like, I don't know why, I turned 50 and all of a sudden I don't become a stalker. I didn't do none of this shit when I was young. 50 now, I'm like, okay, I got to see what they about.
You know what? You know why? You prowling now, Cougar. You're prowling. You're prowling now, Cougar. That's why.
I need to go sit my ass in a corner somewhere.
You're prowling. She's circling your ass.
You know, and I'm gonna go ahead and own it. But I was so impressed with just the way your page was and everything. And I was like, man, he kind of down to earth. In fact, I almost crossed paths with you. I think it was you were going to New Orleans to visit Papa. Yeah. And I was gonna go up there weekend and, you know, be like, okay, I need to take a class, you know, do something. But then I saw your post that you were going to visit, and I was like, nah, you know, I'm not gonna be the third party, you know, busting with that situation. But oh my God, I wish I would have went now. We could have had so much freaking fun. It would have been, we got to do it though. When everything opens up, we got to do it.
He's a blast, man. Your godfather, man. He's a different, like, he put that fire under my ass a lot of times. Like, he'll be like, yo, do this. I'm like, nah, man, hell no. You know, because sometimes like I got to put my Brooklyn in. I'll be like, hell no, son. He'd be like, boy. And then he'll give me that look. You know that look?
Yeah.
Or the in damn deep. And then, you know, he's been helping. Like those three and Mambo Tonya, so those four, like them elders, like they, when I need to be put on check, like one of them will be like, yo, I need you to be more on social media. Like, you know, the internet needs you, or, you know, I need to see the child at Elegua on, you know what I mean? Then that's when you'll see me, like, you know, do it live or do it with them, you know what I mean? Because for real, if it wasn't those four, I probably would never have a picture of myself on here, you know what I mean? Because I just wanted to help people, but I wanted to help people without people knowing who I am, because I wanted people to.
He froze for a little bit, probably internet coming back in. Yoda. So he got to come back. We can't lose TaTa Campu.
Right, we can't. He'll come back in.
Yo, I'm still here.
Okay, good. I was like, okay, no, we're gonna have to start over. We gotta bring him back. So I was going, you know, women impatient. I'm like, okay, now we gotta go do something. We gotta bring them back. So go ahead, repeat what you were saying because you froze up.
Which part? When I said that I like to do things for.
Right, where you were saying that you really weren't trying to put a face on who you were and what you were doing.
Yeah, because I wasn't trying to put a face on what I was doing because I wanted people to fall in love with who I was and who I really was, like my heart, who I was internally. Because anybody can fall in love with a face, you know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, you can be handsome, you can have a great like, you know, the way I talk and all that, that's great. But I wanted somebody to fall. I wanted people to know that I'm here to help and fall in love with the name TaTa Campu, not the face. But, you know, those 4 elders told me, like, yo, you need to be out there. And this Candelo, if you want the bitches, I suggest you have your face out there. You know what I'm saying?
That was the best, because that is exactly what he would say. That is 100. That is 100 what he would say.
You know, so I took it and I just ran with it. And you'll see, like, I post, like, little pictures of myself there. But, you know, I do it more like to help people. And like I said, like the reason why I chose to help women more than men is because I got a soft spot for women. Any woman that's in need, because, you know, I was made by a woman, you know, I was disappointed by women, you know. So I figured like all that, everything that I'm going through has always been involved with a woman. So if I can help the next man love a woman as much as I love the woman, you know what I mean? My job is done.
Yep, that's why your spirits gave you all girls.
They did.
That's why your spirits give you all girls. So you can raise.
They gave him lessons for sure.
Gave him lessons.
You're blessed because you're surrounded by some good ones. I love Ifa. Ifa make me laugh. Ifa, I be like, oh my God, Ifa Bay is like, she's just good. She's just, I always crack up with her, and her energy is good. And what you get is honesty.
Yep.
What you get is genuine. She's not one of these people that's gonna really fuck with you and lead you on or whatever. It's straight up with her, and I like that. Where when you need that check, you know, put me in my place or lead me on this path, because we all need it. Yeah, we all need it. You know, sometimes Papa will look at me and he'll be like, okay, let's have a talk, which being nothing good is about to happen.
Eva's like that aunt that one moment she's spitting wisdom at you, and then the next moment she'll pop up say, all right, son, I'll fuck you up. Like, she
is. We got to get her on. We got to get her on, because I'm telling you, a lot of people that look at her say, you know, somebody asked me, they said she doesn't look like she's a nice person. And I'm like, how do you pick that from a picture? Because I said, when you meet her, it's really, she cracks you up. It's nonstop. And she's very giving, very, very giving. So I always tell people, no, you can't just go off of what the impression is without knowing the energy of a person. But she is amazing. You're surrounded by good people because they're going to keep you in check. Now, speaking on you putting yourself out there, you had like a commercial that you did that was like fire. It was fire. I was looking at it. I was like, oh, damn, that is good. Your marketing and your promotion was on point. So I was like, if you're going to spend the money, you did it the right way. You put it out there. How did you come up with the marketing campaign? Because you did the commercial and you did something else. I forgot. I saw more pictures and more flyers that were coming out on your page. So tell us about that.
Everything I do, it's like top of the head. Like I'm very creative, so I'm an artist. So like I used to do graffiti. So I transformed that hitting the subway graffitis into like business marketing. So I'm like, yo, how can I get my point across in 4 minutes to tell somebody who I am, what I do, what my business, I'm this, what I do, how I do work. When the same, I can, you know, so I'm like, how can I do this all real quick? And I came up with the concept of, you know, talking about, you know, actually I had Hoodoo here, your guys' godfather.
I remember.
And I hit him up. Yeah, I was like, yo, what do you think about this? And I slipped up. And one of the things I'm like, you know, all the bitches be thinking, he's like, boy, you came and he swagged me. Like, we're in the middle of a damn conversation. He like, bang. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, this nigga must really comfortable with just slapping me. A nigga from Brooklyn is about that life. He didn't care where I was from. He's like, I'm like, oh, this nigga don't care. So he whacked me, right? So I woke up, I'm like, yo, why you hit me? You know, I got salty. I'm like, yo, why you hit me? He's like,
boy, you can't be saying bitches. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying?
He is like that though. People don't realize Papa, he'll put that hand up, you be ducking, like, okay, where is it coming from? People are like, okay, he wouldn't do that. Yeah, he does. He'll knock you in the head. He will knock you in the head. That is too freaking funny because that is 100% how he is.
He's crazy. So now, reason why I've been like, another thing, I've been working on a book. So he's been helping me on my book. So like, how to put all my life situations in this book. So me doing that marketing and teaching people how I wasn't that commercial is now becoming another part of marketing on the book side where people can actually know who am I, like, what type of lifestyle I lived, who my mother was, how my mother is. And I feel like these are things that I need to say in the marketing of who I am. Because I feel like if I tell you it before anybody else tells you it, ain't nobody can tell you nothing about me that you don't know, and by doing and doing them commercials and stuff like that, that was all me. You know what I mean? I got off subject, but yeah.
No, but I think it's good because really it's good that you got a book coming out. And I'm glad. I think the whole thing about it is that share the knowledge. Sometimes people need to know where you come from to figure out where you are, who you are now. And a lot of people are going to relate to that. They really will. So no, put it out there. Yeah, I think it's important. Sierra is saying, oh, you about to have these ladies do a panty change. So we got virtual panties flying at the screen.
All right, son of a legua.
that Lego swag, yo, it's just like that's like I'm very honored and gifted, but like my biggest thing is like helping people for real. Like I can be funny and joke like yo, give me those panties virtually, you know what I'm saying? but in all honesty, that's like a lot of my clients are females, and I will never cross that line with them. You know what I mean? Like I'm very respectful with everybody. You know what I mean? I'm not a dick or nothing like that. You know what I mean? Only person I'm trying to get at is probably Tonya now because she's stalking my page. I might hit her up, hit her in the DMs or something.
Don't you get me in trouble now. I'm telling you right now. Don't get me, because the cougar sometimes knows no boundaries. They know no boundaries. Wait a minute. I thought, didn't Ifa already laid claim to you?
She in the comments right now. She said, "I love you, babe."
Ifa laid claim. What we got going on? Sister wives, we got Polly. What we bringing into the equation?
Hold on. Ifa says she mails like anthrax to people. I'm sorry, but that's been
that's right. Yeah, I can't fuck with you. That's right. I can't fuck with you at all.
Hunting season has been canceled.
Cougar has been put back in her place. All you had to do was say that anthrax.
You have to go back to the pride, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yo, talking about Ifa though, like for real, she put me like in a great path, like in our tradition, like like when we did that interview on her podcast. Do you guys listen to it or whatever? That Mug Monday.
Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah. She told me to be honest, y'all. And like I was so like I was nervous to tell people my story because it took me like twice as long to build who I am today than who I was yesterday. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I thought that my backstory was gonna make me be like people would look at me a certain type of way. But she made me feel so comfortable, and y'all made me feel so comfortable that shit. I'm glad everybody knows the type of background I got. You know what I mean? Because without my background, I ain't who I am today, and I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't even change it. I wouldn't. I couldn't.
You couldn't. We all come from a past. We all do. Nobody's shit is clean. So I think the thing about it is people need to know that this is probably the new age of spiritual workers. I was going to even say back in the days, my grandma and aunts and stuff like that, they were shady motherfuckers. They were. But they would go to church and carry their Bible and smile, and people didn't know that. But behind the scenes, man, they were nice. So I think people need to understand that path is open to everybody. Spirit will use you where they can. They will lead you to where. So now, at this point, we don't even need to be embarrassed or anything like that. If you've ever watched one of my Friday lives, man, I talk about all kind of shit. Farting, somebody, what was it? We was talking about teabagging one night. I didn't even know what the fuck teabagging was. I had to go and Google it. But that's who we are. So I think you have to break up that misconception. I'm glad you're honest. I really am. I'm glad that you're genuine and that you're putting yourself out there. There's so many people out there. Sometimes I look at them and I'm like, man, nah, it's not right. The energy is not right. The message isn't right. So you feel good. You feel spiritually, you feel good. And I think that's a really good compliment because that means you're connected to your spirit.
Yeah, man. It took me a while, like I said, and I'm still like every day, like I always feel best like when I do my morning prayers, you know what I'm saying, or when I'm ringing my bells and I'm calling everybody, you know what I mean? And it's just like it's a different, like, to see where I am today and sometimes talk to you guys and like relive who I was is really like, damn, like, yo, I came a far way, yo. You know what I mean? And just have my own business, and not for nothing, like my mom to this day never really said, yo, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? And even though she never said that, you know what I mean? I know she is, and I know like my family is, but from what I do, they think I do like Satan work and shit because people know what they don't know, so they think it's crazy. So I'm like, so I'm just like, nobody ever really tells me like, yo, I'm proud of you or this. I just do it. I do it just to help others. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when I'm long gone, I hope I leave a legacy that my daughters can be proud of. You know what I mean? That you guys can be proud of. You know what I mean? Anybody.
Right.
Here, he did his thing. You know what I mean? My daughters, I hope like I told Ifa, I'm saving up for my daughters. You know what I mean? For they can have their crown. Like it took me a long time to get crowned because I had to save up for it. But right now, my daughter, you know what I mean? She running to get crowned. You know what I mean? I got shit saved. She whatever her decision is, I hope it is to be crowned so we can build a stronger bond together. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, that's, it's beautiful because I always say, as a voodoo priestess, my family practices Catholicism. So nobody went to Conzo. Nobody, they practice, but they don't practice openly. So when I told my mom I was going to Haiti, and she was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, to become a mambo, a voodoo priestess. And of course she was like, because it didn't make her happy. And
right.
It was one of those things where it was like, okay, but I gotta follow this. Spirit called me, so I gotta follow it. And I did it. And I kind of grew up like, my mom was kind of hard. She's very strong. She's never patted me on the back. She's never gave me a, validation of, oh, you do well. I just have to take the acknowledgement that she's proud. But we were looking at an African movie. And this is when I knew that she accepted who I was for who I really am. She said, okay, here comes the part where you come in. And I was like, what are you talking about, Mom, on the movie? She goes, here comes your part. Well, here comes this voodoo woman shaking her asong in the movie. And my mom goes, that's you. She's helping the village. She's healing the village. And I looked at her and I was like, God damn it. She got it. She got it. That was her way of acknowledging it without saying I'm cool with it, but I know what you are. I know what you're doing. And it really was one of those moments where you kind of look, you don't say words, but you make that eye contact and it's like, all right, yeah, we here. Yeah. So I get that. And, of course, you want your kids, you want your family to connect with that.
That's a good story, yo. Like, I didn't know that about you. Like that. See, like, I'm happy that you even opened up and told me that little story about yourself. Now, the next person is going through what you went through. Now, be like, damn, like, these people is talking about some real, you know what I mean? Because we can sit here and talk about Paulo. We can sit here and talk about, that girl that got killed by the so-called Papa Lega. But those are shit that everybody's talking about. But to sit here and talk about real life shit and to tell people, like, this is the shit that we went through, now look at us, a lot of people are going to relate. And those are the things that people are going to want to become spiritualists for, because they're going to be like, yo, this nigga right here sold drugs. He says nigga, he smoke a little bit of herb. You know what I mean? He do this, he do that. Man, like, I can be that. I can do what he's doing. You know what I mean? I can be the next young Condelo. I can be the older. I can do what, there's no limit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like by people seeing, like, us doing classes and stuff like that, but without them relating to us, we ain't gonna grasp to them. You know what I mean? I think that's where a lot of people mess up spirituality. They don't get to just tell them, like, yo, look, check this out, homie. This is how it's gonna go. I've been through it. And then you got, nobody says that in spirituality. Not to say nothing towards nobody, but nobody want to sit there and tell people or people want to defend themselves when somebody that they've been through the shit with talk shit about them. You know what I mean? Like, let's say, for example, if I was in a gang fight with somebody, he becomes spiritualist and he tells everybody the gang fight we had. If I didn't say it, now I'm scared to tell everybody because I built this great empire, but now I'm so scared to say who I was because who I am. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like a lot of people are afraid of, you know, but I feel like our little community is so cool. You know what I mean? Like everybody in our community, like the Ifa in the world, now you Tanya's in the world, the Sherman, the San Moises, the Mambo Yansas, like they keep it real. And that's why when I found out that this little circle kept it real, I wanted to be part of it so bad. You know what I mean? And that's why I reached out to Condelo and I reached out to San Moise, and they were just, and you know, they asked me questions. Of course, you just can't come in this bitch like, you know, a stranger off the street. And they try to, I call it, they G-check me spiritually, like, what's this, what's that, what's this, what's this, what's that, what's this, what's that, what's this, what's that. You know what I mean? And then when I was hitting them, you know, with my paths, and I was telling my paths and Calico, and they're like, oh, okay, bam, okay, oh shit, okay, so, and this, you know, then they were like, oh, this little motherfucker on his shit. And then they took me under their wing. And now look, I just sprouted.
I think the whole thing about growing in this community or growing period is sometimes the soul family or the tribe that you surround yourself with. People don't understand how important, because the same people that you break bread with can make you or break you in this community. What do they say? A friend today could be an enemy tomorrow. But I think if you come at this real, you come at this with your heart open, and you come out with a connection with spirit and a desire to serve spirit and make a difference in other people's lives, then you're walking your right path. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck who likes me, who doesn't like me. My spirits are who I'm concerned with, you know, how I perform in the community, what I do for me. That's how I sleep at night. Did I do something that made me feel good for the people that I'm working with, or the people or the spirits that I serve? So I think people need to see that. There's a lot of, especially with this pandemic, I think, and Sherwin hit on top of it. I was disappointed. I looked at some priest or priestess that I was kind of like, oh, okay, they're going to step forward and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And then they disappeared. And then you saw people that you didn't even know about that were coming in and doing prayer circles, candle vigils, things, people that don't normally do this stuff. And I was like, okay, you know what? I need to go ahead and change my perspective with some of these people. Because my thing is, when I'm down in the trenches, I got to know who's fighting with me. If you gonna fucking run away, we don't need to be friends, because I'm a goddamn warrior. I'm gonna fight. So I think people need to understand you have to be careful with who you connect with when you come into the community, because it's hard finding a family. And if you find people, and you have good people. You have good people around you. I know them all. And I think it's the beauty of it is there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom to get, which will be really, really good.
And you know how I started helping this community in this pandemic? Like, I told one of my friends in Ohio to make me a face mask, right? Because I needed one. I'm like, yo, you know, she had everything. I'm like, yo, do me a solid. Like, can you make me a face mask? You know, with my logo on it. She bullshitted me for 1 month, right? I'm like, yo, fuck it. I found this lady who was doing the face masks, and I bought that Cricut or whatever. So I started doing my own logo on it, right? If it wasn't for her playing me, and, you know, like spirit, you guys want to call it spirit, you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for that, for me being played, actually helped me with this, help people in this whole epidemic, you know what I mean? Because I would just needed a mask myself. But from that one person playing me, bro, you see my mask everywhere. You know what I mean?
I want to order one. You do see them everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? You know, from me being played helped me help people in this epidemic. You know what I'm saying? It helped me keep on getting the product that I keep on, you know, I can keep on producing it, mass producing it. I don't even charge nobody for shipping. You know what I mean? Like, everything is just flat based. I pay for the shipping. There'd be some times I don't make money on my mask, to be real with everybody. Like, my mask that I make, like, I wanted to put that out there. Like, I don't make bread on it. You know what I mean? Like, when I make the mask, I make them you're just buying the material just so I can get more material to give it to the next person. You know what I mean? Because I'm paying for the shipping. You know what I mean? So people don't understand. They be like, oh, the mask, this, yeah, they're great quality, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to help the next person. You know what I mean? If you need it, you know, all you're doing is support it. You know what I mean? Like supply. And you know, by me getting played, I'm grateful for getting played. You know what I mean? Because even Godfather was like, Kyle, you got played by her, but look at you, you got people all over the world with your mask. He's like, I want one, and he don't even like mask. you know what I'm saying? So
that spirit though, that spirit, I always say that, you know, when the door closes, it's not for you to go there. It really isn't. Spirit is like, no, we want you to do this because we're going to expand your product line. And then you can go from there and build this up because you got the t-shirts, you got the mask. What other merch you got?
Hoodies. I'm on the hoodies, but I want to do headbands next.
Well, you know, hey, look, the mama over here, I need a head wrap.
Yeah, yo.
I don't know how we gonna work it, but I need a head wrap. So we gonna figure that out.
You gonna have a special one made.
Hey, I'm willing. I'm gonna pay for it. Oh, look, Papa's on here too. Let me see. What Papa say when I see you again, you gonna talk? What is? Oh, he talking about me? Like, okay, what I do?
He's talking about me and my glasses at one point. I was like, what is he commenting? And he said about my glasses. He's like, me and my glasses.
What he say? I'm gonna twerk.
You know what? He said he's gonna twerk it.
That's why I just started accent. I was like, oh Lord, you know, I got to brush up on my Creole.
Yo, be talking to sometimes, and I be like, there's this thing called victimont or victimont. What victimont mean? You know what that means?
Exactement.
Exact. There we go. There we go. Yo, everything. I was like,
he go between Creole and English. It'll start with English, and then he'll throw some of that in, and then you'll be like, okay. And of course, for his God kids, he looking at you like, you should know this. You know, you really need to know this. Which he's right. He is right, but he will test your ass in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
He's cool though. One thing about him though, like I've learned from knowing him the last couple of years is, yo, if he got it and you need it, yo, you got it. You know what I mean? Like if there's a shirt, if he got a shirt that you like and you like it really bad, he's gonna give you that shirt. You know what I mean? And he does so much shit behind the scenes that nobody knows about that, you know,
he does.
Yeah, that he don't even want you to acknowledge him that he's helping you out because he does it for the kindness of his heart. And there's not a lot of people like that out there. You know what I mean? But, you know, just shout him a shout. That's why I tell him, like, I always shout you out, man. Like, I'm so appreciative of him, like, helping me in my journey, like, just getting me, like, to the right people for my book. You know what I mean? Like, little things for him are so big to me because, like, you know, when you don't have a father figure and you get somebody like a big brother or, you know, or that father figure in your life that can help you and guide you in the right direction, you grasp for that. You know what I mean? So each one of you guys got, like, a special place in my heart. Like, you know, Candelo is my gangster. You know what I mean? Sam Moy said he's like my father, you know what I'm saying? Sherwin is like my annoying little brother. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then, you know, and and you know, I got you. Now I can keep it real with you like I do with Ifa, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like you're one of my Tanya, you know.
We family.
Those are things that I like, things I didn't have when I was a child, I have as a grown up, but in different ways. And as me being an adult, you know, I can appreciate it more now as an adult than I did when I was a child. And these are the things where I sit back and I'm like, yo, like, I'm so grateful. There's some times where I sit down and I just, like, I'll shed a tear, like, I know no funny shit, and I'd be like, yo, I came a long way from the gutter, yo. Like, from an ain't shit kid, you know what I mean? From an ain't shit kid, look where I'm.
Right.
Yeah, accomplishment will do that. Accomplishment, you know, especially when you didn't see the outcome. When you living in something and you don't see the outcome, and then when you make it to that point, you're like, damn, man, I could have been dead. I could have died 15 times by now.
Yeah.
And you realize how blessed you were. You were protected. You were meant to do this. Spirit was like, you know, don't play with us. You coming. And they brought you. And I'm glad. I really am. Let me see. Let me get you some questions. I think everybody, I don't know why they so quiet.
TaTa. They just listening. They're absorbing the knowledge.
Yeah, they're not even asking questions. Let's see. A lot of jealousy.
When they see a dime, they turn to subs, baby.
Let me tell y'all.
Hey, don't tell me Tanya got to Google what sub is.
Oh.
Please don't tell me she.
No, I'm trying to figure out what questions are.
I just want to make sure because she said said she didn't know what teabagging was. You know
Hey, look, it was new. It was brand new. I mean, we wasn't calling it that in the days. We were calling it something else. But now I know.
Yeah, for sure. Oh
Hey,
man,
knowledge is power. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be real. Knowledge is power. So let's see. Charlene is saying we mesmerized. God damn, TaTa, you came on here. The women are mesmerized. Wait a minute.
One of my stories from Spirit was one time a long time ago. I had roommates. I was living like I was on college campus. And one of the roommates discovered the black market online. They called it the Silk Road back then. Y'all, these people was having LSD, they was having heroin, they was having cocaine, they was having all this stuff shipped to this house, and I knew nothing about it. Until one day my spirit woke me up out of my bed and said, go in the kitchen. I got up, I went in the kitchen, and he was cooking it up. He was heating it up with a spoon. And when he seen me, he threw his hat over it. And I look at him, I said, I done seen it. I said, don't hide your sin now. He said, oh well. And then he lifted the hat and he kept on doing it. He filled up the syringe, he went in the room and went to work on his veins. Came back around high as a kite. So one day I came home and all of the we have Florence where I live. The entire police department swarmed the apartment on both sides where nobody could run. And I was home. And I started speaking to Spirit. I said, right now, I said, I know you're protecting me. Let me come out of this scot-free because this ain't got shit to do with me.
He was a rapper. He was a rapper. The Spirit.
Yeah, he broke it down into bars. He was like, okay, let's do this.
I sure did. And then so the officers, they come upstairs and they come knocking on the door and everything. And so they wanted the guy with the computer. They wanted him and they wanted his wife. So they took them downstairs. Come to find out, the guy and his wife, they had warrants on them for a fight at a house party.
Damn, that's what they were looking for though. So they weren't even coming in the raid.
Right, they weren't even coming in the raid. Spirit
said, we're gonna make this shit invisible. We're gonna make it. And a lot of people, because I read for some people in prison and they were like, man, I could have got it worse than what I had, but Spirit made some of the stuff disappear, or it made my shit disappear.
Yep. And I was like, you already know, because if they would have found it, everybody in the apartment would have went down. Everybody. That's just like riding in the car with someone that smokes weed. If one person got it,
yeah, man,
everybody got it.
See, man, that's real life shit, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand, like, that shit you deal with on an everyday base. And people don't understand that if you keep it real with your spirits like that, like, you probably got a youth person out here, whether it's male or female, that's looking at here like, yo, I went through the same fucking thing. Like, these motherfuckers on some real life shit. You know what I mean? And that's why I've been keeping it so real. Like, since I've been on since day one of this, you know what I mean? Like, I've been A1 to everybody, but not A1 still, because remember, I wasn't taking it serious. You know what I mean? I was still in the streets with Iglesias on, you know what I'm saying? Banging with Iglesias on, you know what I'm saying? On the corner with Iglesias on, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing that you're not supposed to do that because, my Godfather already knew the path I was gonna come home, but I just had to find my own way. You know what I mean? I like hearing stories like that about, man. I love that. I love both y'all stories. I love hearing, like, that's why I tell my stories, to bring out the real in y'all, you know what I'm saying? So people can know on you guys on different levels, you know what I mean? Because you guys are so positive on your posts. Like, Tonya got that picture of her with the gray locks, that nice turquoise,
Hey, you hear his voice? You hear his voice drop just now. His voice dropped.
I thought it dropped a little bit.
You caught that?
You think a little bit more bass in it or something?
Hit a little Barry White.
Like
those gray locks in her hair.
I feel like I need to get my sage out and do some. I need to smoke something out over here real quick. Real quick.
No, but you know,
Cleanse your space.
I just, you know, shit like that, man. That shit, I don't know, man. It just makes me happy to know that, you know, I picked the right crew of people to be involved with. You know what I mean? Like, everybody in this circle, like, is so tight, and it keeps on growing and growing and growing and growing. But the people that are coming into it are so knowledgeable, are so genuine, are so humble, and you know, to be in it, to one day pack up the Mile High, you know, gala with all of our people. You know what I mean? And to see everybody that we mess with on an everyday basis on social media, all in one spot, man, and to know that we all in the same clique, you know, man,
it's gonna be epic. I think the whole thing about it is it's gonna grow because the community is growing, and like I say, you want your tribe to be right.
Yeah, for sure, you know. And I feel like we keep it real. Like, I feel like us being men, like, you have Sherwin, you have myself, you have like all these dudes that are men, the high priest, but we respect women at the same time. You know what I mean? So that separates us from the phonies that see a woman, like, she might be a baddie, she might not be a baddie, but, you know, people look at that like, oh, I can take advantage of them. And to know that we keep it genuine and treat them like, you know, like our sister or like our daughters, you know what I'm saying? No matter of, you know, how old you are or whatever, just shows like the most respect. That shit is dope too.
I think the thing about it too is you have people that really come into a lot of power when they start on a spiritual path. And I think sometimes people lose their way because ego gets in the way. And you kind of have to take a step back and remember why you're doing what you're doing and what you're doing it for. And it brings in more people. Like you say, when you're talking to the young people, they see the tattoos, they see everything that they can relate to. And the spirit is like, come on, let me show you something more. You could take that and you could be ego driven, but you're choosing not to be that way, which is sometimes hard for men. I'm so glad to see more men in the community. Because you had a lot of women where it was just like a lot of mess. Now we need something to balance that energy out. I think we really need somebody to come in and say, okay, look, let's bring some more men into this. There was a time where I think somebody was being very I forgot who it was. I was listening to a live and he was talking about gay men and the spiritual community and how horrible it was. And it was such a turnoff to me because it was like, what does that have to do with spirit? What does somebody's sexuality have to do with spirit? And it was like, okay, all the gay men, all the men that are in spirituality right now that are priests or whatever are gay. And I was like, nah, that's not true. But he was saying we didn't have a big representation of men that were coming out and saying, you know, not that it mattered, but I'm glad to see Ugan Sherwin. I'm glad to see you. Candelo is out there. Candelo is one of those things where he on a whole nother level, a whole nother play by himself. But he even said, I want to bring more men into the community so that people can see men doing well towards women and prospering and growing in their spirituality. And we need it.
We do.
We need the balance.
We do. Like, and you touched on a great subject, like, you know, being gay, like in our tradition and like the ATRs, there's so many gay high priests, you know what I mean? And I respect them so much, you know what I mean? Like, just because they're gay and they do whatever they do with their partner, that doesn't got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? We're in the tradition together. You know what I mean? Like, we're growing this tradition. We're building empires together. You know, what's your sexuality don't got nothing to do with me. Like, I feel like a lot of people being a lot of other, you know, they're involved in their business. Like, that's somebody else's business. That's how people get killed. Like, when you're involved in somebody else's business, like, that's how you can get killed. Like, for real, like, being from the streets, I take that mentality, even though it's not like that in spirituality, but you can get killed from the spirit. If you fucking with them, calling them all their names or saying shit like that, they can hit you with, you know, with some heavy shit. You don't even know what they got.
It's
you
true.
know what I'm saying? Just because they gay, that don't get spirit that got their back. So that's why I always respect everybody. Like, I don't care what it is, what you do. You know what I mean? You respect me, I'm gonna respect you twice as much because, like, I'm here to help you. You know, I'm not here to look at you like, yo, you bad, or damn, man, don't be looking at me, you gay. Like, nah, I don't care about none of that. You know, only thing I care about is me growing and prospering. That's it.
Absolutely. Like Papa say, it's irrelevant. It really is. But I think sometimes you have men that are ego driven or they're scared, they're intimidated, And so they have to come up with an excuse on why something isn't working for them, or even to just bring some type of recognition to themselves because of it, because it's really ignorant. I don't ever see spirit seeing color. I don't see spirit seeing sex. When I work with spirit, it is an energy. So I think a lot of people, you know, they get confused with that. But I think a lot more men are starting to come in, and they're a lot more freer with their connection with spirit. And I think it's a beautiful thing. I really do. And I hope we have more men that come in, that we bring more in the community in the right way.
Yeah, and I feel like we are. I feel like we're doing everything positive, because like if you would have told me when I was 16 that I was going to be in spirituality when I was 35, I'd probably look at you like, you crazy, you know what I mean? But you know, the direction we're going, you know, with people that are so great, like you know, you being real. You got Sherwin being real, you know what I mean? You got Sherwin doing readings, you got yourself doing readings, and even you doing readings for people in prison. You take that experience and you help people out. You know, you might know somebody that's gonna go down that road. You know, despite a court case, they can't beat it. They just did so much fucked up thing. No matter what you do, Spirit's gonna give them that time to give them a spank in their ass, just to wake them up. Maybe get like a 1 year, 3 year bid. But you know, you can at least tell them, from you knowing the people in prison and you doing readings for them, you can actually help somebody else in that direction too. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know what I mean? Like, we here to help everybody in every aspect. When people are doing fucked up things, they don't want to help them. They just want to shut down and be like, oh, I just want to do love and light. Like, how can that be? You know what I mean? How can you help that person doesn't do nothing love and light? Or if that all he knows how to do is hustle and get it how you live. You know, if all you know is get it how you live, how, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta bring yourself to that level. You know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, we're in the right direction. I feel like even you, like, you guys, this show right here, the show that we're on, man, it's so dope, because you guys talk about real life situations, not just spirituality, but it also involves spirituality, because it is real life situations. And I feel like this was, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I feel like by me being on the show right now, it's gonna open up mad different areas. Like, I feel like you won't have like a little 17-year-old kid coming asking me in inbox like, how you do this, mom? You know, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like you never know.
I think the whole thing about it is you got a lot of people on here, just with the comments, they love you. They don't even know. It's like, I love him. I love his energy. I love, you know, what he's standing for. So I think the thing is, you representing yourself very well, you know, as a person and as a priest. I'm really proud of you. I really am. This is my first really introduction into who you are, and I like your vibe. I think it's cool. And I think keep doing
it took me a long time, you know, like, and I'm still like, I always grow. Like, who I am today is not who I'm going to be tomorrow. Like, it's always like a growing experience. You know what I mean? Like, you'll see me like on here, like always bullshitting with Sherwin. Like, I like fucking with him, you know, to get a reaction out of him, because he's so quiet. You know, like, we've been talking like me and you. You know, he's been so quiet. You know,
he's not quiet. TaTa Campu, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. He is not quiet.
I'm listening. I'm letting y'all talk.
You a dime, everybody turned into a sub. Hey, remember that lingo. When you a dime, you see, you know, that's why I said, like, yo.
Oh my God, I can't even breathe.
On that note, someone has a question. Alice May Wilder asked, how do you know? Let me see, where is it?
You pick it up. I don't even see it on my side.
Let me see. I passed it. She was like, how? I think it was along the lines of, how do you know which spirituality is right for you? Hold on, I just passed it.
So she asked you.
Yeah, I would like to know, how do you know the path you should take?
Okay, TaTa, we're gonna let you deal with that.
All right. With me, is I always wanted to connect with something that was part of my ancestry, because I always wanted to know who I was, because everybody always thought I was Puerto Rican, but I'm Brazilian. So I'm Portuguese. So I always wanted to like get into something that represents me, who I am, my bloodline. So I wanted to do Kimbanda, but since there's no Brazilians out here in Brooklyn, the closest thing was to get, you know, Gariocha. you know, doing follow and asking if these are, and then first and foremost is getting a reading to see if these are your paths first. You want to get a reading. You don't want to just think, yo, because I'm Puerto Rican, I'm supposed to get into Gariocha. No, you want to get a reading first. You want to go into your local botanica, get a reading, and seeing if that's part of your past. Because if it's not part of your path, then you got to go to the next, to what your path is. Like, you know, what happened if your path is voodoo? Like, are you guys, you know, do you have to be Haitian to be part of Haitian voodoo?
No.
Right? Yeah. So what happened if their path is Haitian voodoo and they're, you know, so my biggest thing is get a reading. Like, that's what I tell everybody. Get a reading from a credible reader. Like, you got Sherwin right here that can read you. You got Tonya that can read you. You got I can read you. You got Sam Moyes that can read you. You have the whole squad that can read you. So if you want, I will first and foremost get a reading from one of us and see what your path is. Go from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me see. I think Remy is saying no houses in Brooklyn. So I think she's saying, I'm not sure if she's saying there are no houses in Brooklyn.
She crazy. Yo, Brooklyn is the mecca in Eaters. Like,
That's
if you
what I
go,
thought too.
that shit is crazy. If you go, look, Remy, if you go to 893 Broadway Avenue, it's called Botanica Orisha. My godfather's name is Rudy. Go there, you tell him you know me, tell him you know TaTa Campu from Ohio, the big O's little brother, and you go there, and he'll give you a reading. You'll be part of the family. You do that, I'll go to your ceremony personally. I'll be there when you get, if it's down. Since you say there's no houses, I'm giving you a perfect house right there. That's my house.
Ah, Remy, you get it?
So it's 893 Broadway. If you go off Broadway and Myrtle, right underneath the train tracks, you're going first going, you're going to see a big statue of Santa Muerte. He got one of the biggest statues of Santa Muerte in the Botanica. You're going to go in, you ask for Rudy, ask for Campu sent you, and boom, go from there. And then you're going to hit it. And if he's busy, he going to my god brother, which he got the Botanica across the street, Botanica St. Michael. So like everybody that's in my house has their own business. That's one thing about being part of Rudy's God Kids. Like, every one of Rudy's God Kids in Brooklyn is now a successful business owner. Not because just because of who he is, but he put you in a place where he's gonna tell you what you need to be. He's gonna tell you what you need to do, and you're gonna do it because you're gonna see how he is, and you're gonna use him as a platform before you become crowned. Then when you become crowned, then whoever you know what I mean? Like I said, my path is wild, but my path royal. You know, so me and like I just found out that Ifa and me got the same path. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? So it's like that when you find out people's paths, it makes you even that much more closer. But back to Remy, yo, go to 893 Broadway and you gonna find it. You're gonna find a great house.
Thank you for that information. And I like the way you said that everybody has a business, because really when Sherman and I created Tea and Tarot, I wanted a platform for my god brothers and sisters to be able to grow, to be able to be seen. Because I mean, we got some shy mambos, we got some very, shy Ugans that they don't put themselves out there. But I wanted us to have a platform where people could see what the house does, what we do individually and what we can do together. So I love that, because that's what I want for us too. If I'm making it, I want my brother to make it. I want my sister to ride with me. That's the way. It's like, we ain't doing this by myself. We can come on, the whole family coming. That's the way it should be. At least I feel that's the way a house should run. Now we're going on. Go ahead, TaTa.
No, go ahead. We're going on what, 2 hours? 1 hour?
I was gonna say, we're at an hour and a half. You want to talk a little bit more? You tired?
I'm good, baby girl.
Okay.
How can I get
Lynna, we can go a little bit more?
Yeah. I can go as long as you need.
Okay. All right. Let me see.
Hey, look at Cheryl. Cheryl, wait a minute. Shut your ass up.
Sherwin, put them glasses back on, boy. Put them glasses back on. Sherwin is like,
no. So we're having Tea and Tarot after dark now?
Hey, we might be going that way. Do you feel like you need to get a Bible out?
Something, acting very, very unchristian, very unchristian like right now. Oh, Hercules. Oh,
Okay.
Hercules. Oh.
I lost my questions on my side because I got flustered. So you got questions? You got questions on your side?
Oh, Campu, you got her blushing. Lord, nobody gets Tonya
Need a
blushing.
black girl blush. Lord have mercy.
Jesus, son of a legua. Ay, ay, ay.
You pulling questions over there? I don't know what I did to make my questions disappear, but I'm gonna find them.
Somebody
I'm gonna go back in and find them.
somebody electroslide into somebody DM when this is over. I'm not saying who.
Nah, man, Remy gets serious with that anthrax shit.
No, Aoife. Aoife.
Remy gets serious. Not Remy, Aoife. Aoife, look at I don't put Remy in it. Aoife get serious with that anthrax.
Check your mail.
Say, damn, TaTa don't took her through the loop.
He said meet him at the crossroads, literally.
Oh my God. Okay, let's get back on point, y'all. There's a question. Is there a house in Ohio? Let's get into the Ohio houses. Do we have a house in Ohio?
You see that hand? She cut it off. She kill it.
There's four houses out here. There's a house from Baba Adatobi. Adatobi has his own house. And if you guys want to add him, if whoever is in it, you can DM me. I'll give you his name. There's Baba Michael's house out here. And then there's Baba David Thomas. He got it. There's one in Akron and two in Cleveland that I know of personally. Remember, I haven't been here that long, so I don't know too many houses, but the ones that I do know, they're credible. I know Mambo Yansa, her Ile is in Philly, but she has god kids over here that if you wanted Mambo Yansa to be your godmother, she'll actually come to Ohio and do all like the elegant ceremony and everything, but they will have to be in Akron, Ohio. So Akron from Cleveland is like 40 minutes away. So, you can do that if that's the route you wanted to go. You know what I mean?
No, thank you for the info, because I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of people is finding a house. A lot of people don't realize you got to travel sometimes. You that's part of the sacrifice is that, it would be great to have a house right in your city. But for a lot of us, we got to get on a plane, we got to get in a car, because people don't realize a lot of elders do not teach over the phone. They do not. If you really want to learn and you want to put your hands into it, sometimes you have to go and where that. And Papa was talking about that last week. Like, I'm not chasing you. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell you need to come learn. You have to make that effort and sacrifice. So y'all don't get comfortable with looking for some place that's really like in your city. If you do, it's great. But make sure you don't connect with people that are not the right type of mentors. A lot of people settle for elders that are not right because they're trying to make it convenient. Sometimes with spirituality, you got to be uncomfortable. It's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you some things. For some people, relationships too, like marriages and things like that. So you need to understand that if you do make this path and this is what you want to do, there are sacrifices. Now, Remy is saying, Remy, I know you're already initiated, babe. I thought you were talking about for somebody else, maybe in the area, because I know you're a priestess. Let me see. I'm seeing. You see any questions, Sherwin?
Not yet.
I swear, everybody is quiet. TaTa Campu came on, and they're like,
done shut them down. Shut them down.
They like so mad. Backstory, they're like, yo, I didn't know. But that's another reason why I keep it real, people, because like when you're honest with people, like all the questions they have, you answer them when you talking,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you kill a lot of questions because they be like, damn, he's hitting every angle, like, damn, this, that, and the four, okay. Oh, he's gonna talk about Santa Muerte one. Oh, okay, June 3rd, or oh, he's gonna be with older Campu June 7th, you know what I mean? So, I'm like I said, how it was me getting ready, how it is, whatever. And it don't have to be a spiritual question. It can be a real life question, what you want to know, like that's what we here for. We here to keep it real. So if you have a question about anything, I'm here to answer it. You know what I mean?
You said nothing's off limit, you guys. So whatever y'all want to know, ask the questions. Let's see. Willow was talking about I'm terrified to fly. I know it hinders me. Here's the thing, because a lot of people are like, I want to initiate, but I'm vegan. I don't want to kill animals. You need the blood. Sometimes you got to do it. You're scared to fly. Your Ugan or your Mambo or your TaTa lives in another state. You can drive 24 hours. You can get on the plane, but you got to do it. You got to do it. This is what spirit is going to ask you to do. So a lot of times you have to be prepared. This is not something that you take lightly. It took me 5 years to find a mentor. 5 freaking years to find somebody.
That's good.
Yeah, it took it. And I mean, really, TaTa Candelo was how I found Papa. So it was really one of those things of, okay, I can't do this lightly, because I was getting mambos that did vegan initiations. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
Then they were initiating in Florida for like 3 days, no, a week. And you went there with a bunch of people, and we were staying in a hotel. She was like, well, you'll stay in a hotel. And I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. Then she was like, initiation is $300. I was like, nope, that's not what I've been quoted. So I think a lot of times you got to wean out the bullshit when you're trying to connect with elders and mentors and things like that. Take your time, you guys. This is not a sprint. This is people that you're going to be connected with. There are a lot of people that go into a house, know nothing about the house, nothing about the people. And then when they get in there, they're like, oh, I fucked myself. Yeah, you did. Because you didn't research. So y'all make sure you connect with the right people. Take your time.
Right. It took me 14 years to find a house. And actually, Candelo was the very first Palero that I spoke with in 2000 and I think 13 or 14, when he first came out with Kimbisa.org. I called him after his very first podcast, when I listened to his very first podcast, and this was before anyone really knew Candelo like that. But after that,
14 years ago?
Huh?
14 years ago?
Yeah, it was like was it 14? I think it was less than that, because I think it was 2013, 2014 that I spoke with him. But Hugan and Mambo wise, I've went from Haiti on down and talked to every Hugan and Mambo. There's one Hugan, his name is Hugan Amir. This man was a godsend. I loved him so much. This man lost his phone and got his phone back. And when he got another phone, I contacted him. I spoke with him. He talked to me. He gave me good information. He taught me about the Loa, taught me about Dambala and stuff, and how to set up an altar. Even being a non-initiate, he told me which Loa a person could set up an altar with. For. So then a month later he vanished, and to this day he is still non-existent. No one knows where he went. He's like Arabian or Iranian, and some people even created stories where he was deported, he was killed. Nobody knows where he's at. And then I end up getting in touch with this one Mambo, where I found out later on that she was faking her dental possessions. Where when Danta would come down, Danta would be laughing. So,
what?
I found out that was a big no-no. And then another Ugan, I was down and out, and I messaged this man, and I had known of this man for a while, and I asked him, could he at least light a candle or something for me? He didn't even want to do that. So what he did was he gave me the information for a bath that you could find online, that a Hugan that already posted in a blog before him. And I told him, I said, I already know that bath. I've done that bath. I feel like I need some deeper help.
It takes a little while. You really got to wean out bullshit. Let's see. Let me look. Remy was saying, Remy went to Nigeria and did, I think, her initiation. I know she was in Nigeria. So let me ask you, Sherman, you think you going to Africa next?
No.
You You're not doing Africa?
No, nope. Conzo did it for me. That is it. If anything, I wouldn't mind like seeing if I receive my warriors, but other than that, no. I would travel to Africa just to go, yeah, but
No.
is she?
Conzo did me in too. I never prayed so hard in my life. I'm
Whew.
not even gonna lie. I did not pray so hard. When Papa said, you know, what did he tell me? Because before I went, my money flipped upside down. And I was not making money. I was a massage therapist. I was making really good money. The moment I said that I wanted to go through Conzo, it was like my money dried up. And I was like, what the fuck, Spirit? So I'm telling Papa, I'm like, you know what? I don't think I can do this. My money not coming in. You know, I'm sacrificing. I'm pulling money from my kids. I'm pulling money from my bills to try to make this happen. And so I went to my altar, my ancestors, and I was like, all right, if we doing this, y'all got to make this come through, because I don't know what else to do. I was working 4 jobs. And I was really at the point of just saying, nah, I'm not ready. I'm not going to do it. And Papa was like, if it was meant for everybody, everybody would do it. And that just like lit a fire under my ass, because he was right. It's like, okay, you know, I'm sitting over here bitching and moaning, and I've been called to the priesthood, and I'm sitting up here acting like a baby, like I can't do it. And I worked till I couldn't. When I got on that plane to Haiti, I couldn't even see straight. I was so goddamn tired. But it was one of those things that defined me as a woman, as a priestess, because it showed me, you know, we're not fixing to lay down. That's not my personality anyway. We're not fixing to lay down in the street and die. We still got shit to do. So it's one of those things where you learn, you grow. You're gonna be tested, you guys. You're definitely gonna be tested. TaTa Campu, when was your test? I know you probably went through many, but what was your test?
The test to make me understand, like I said, like when my godfather talked to me and told me like this ain't the way, that was my test, yo. Like, cause I was fucking up out here. I was out in the streets, like I said, like I had my electors on. I was doing bad shit with them. You know, I was court cases and shit like that. So when my godfather sat down, he was like, yo, like, you got kids, like in Spanish, like, you know, you got kids, like, what is you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you dying for a color. And then that, you know, and then me being locked up and only having my electors across my neck, that was another one. You know what I mean? So I have like I have so many that I had to come through to meet that one. But the one that stands out is probably me locked up and they not able to take my electors from me, because it was a religious entity or whatever, and they couldn't take it from me. And knowing that was the only thing that had my back, I couldn't turn back. That was my turning point right there. Like, yo, this is for me.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, because it really shows your belief in your spirit. Belief in a lot of people talk the talk, but when it comes down sometimes with adversity, you know, people, they forget about spirit. You know, it's like, okay, that's good. I know you're talking about setting my altar up, but what's going to help me pay my bills, or what's going to do this and that? And I'm like, do money work. Go to your altar, do money work. You know, people are scared about the health. You know, what do I do about this pandemic? Of course, be smart, wear your mask, disinfect, but go do healing work on your altar. A lot of people don't understand. You don't talk it. You got to actually put action behind this. Spirit is showing you that you look, I got your back. Now lean on me. Let me show you what I can do. And that's what yours did. They were like, you know what, we got you. Let me show you what we can do. And you gave into that. It's one of those moments like where you just fall back. You don't see nothing behind you, but you know something's gonna catch you. 100%. You know it. You feel it. So I love the story.
It was a long, man. It's still a long road, man. Like I still got, like, whatever road I take, yo, it's never the straight fucking road. You ever notice that? I always take the zigzag road. 100%. I just can't take the regular. It can be my face. It can be right in front of my face. Like, take this road, and for some way, somehow, I'm like, yo. So, you know what I mean? That's why, even to the day, that's why I always think where I am today. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for the Orisha, it wasn't for like my godfather, it wasn't for me being crowned, if it wasn't for to the Most High, if it wasn't for him, yo, I don't know where I'll be.
Right. Right. We have a question.
That's real talk. I think a lot of people are, I think right now they're figuring it out. I think this pandemic is testing a lot of people with their faith and what direction that they're going, whether priesthood is something that you're called to, or are you just interested in spirit. I think it's really going to open up doors. They're going to come into your botanica and be like, okay, I need help. You know, I'm depressed. I'm anxious. I don't know what to do. Help me. And then that's when spirit uses you, like you say, to pull them in. You know, even in the readings, people right now, they're anxious. They're scared. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their home. So when they come in and they're like, I need a money candle. I need a job candle. I need you to help me open up this channel. Spirit puts you in that place. I think it's beautiful that you have a botanica. I would love one day and you got a good deal. I mean, really, you couldn't pass that up. Literally, spirit opened that door for you. Literally opened the door for you.
He did, man. But who knows? One day, you don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 years. You know, I always say, like, you know, I might go back home. You know what I mean? But for right now, here's where it's at. You know what I mean? There's not a botan like back home. There's a botanica in every corner, like there is a bodega over here. I'm just the third botanica ever. You know what I mean? An official botanica, not somebody that opened up botanica with some fugazi ass, you know, theme. You know, I got people who are official coming, who are vouching for me. I got Candelo coming. I got you. I'm on your show. I'm on your Godfather's show. You know what I mean? So, well, what's the question though? You had a question? I'm sorry.
Oh, Alyssa asked about people that are mixing ATRs with other practices. Want us to speak on that.
Like so that or Wicca, or just like in general?
Yeah, in general, people that mixes ATRs with like Wicca and stuff like that.
So I think they're asking what your take on that is.
Yeah.
No, that's a no, yo. Like,
did he freeze up?
Yeah, I think he froze.
I hear him kind of.
Let's see.
Bonsoir, Juan Gonzalez Sr.
Let's see.
For me, yo, like the biggest thing is seeing like people in Mexico using Santa. What happened?
Oh, okay. You back. I don't know what's going on.
You still there?
Come back, baby. Yeah. I'm here. it went on.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm like Candelo's love life. I came back.
We got good jokes. You know, I need to see you, him, and Candelo. You do a TNT roll with just the 3 men.
Oh.
We're gonna make that happen. 100%. We're gonna make that. You know what, Papa? We need to get all of y'all.
Oh, Lord.
It would be crazy. It would be 100% crazy. So you got to say it over because we didn't hear your answer. So what were you saying about mixing and moxing?
Oh, I wouldn't recommend nobody mix and match. And I feel like ATRs, everything else is everything else. Like Santa Muerte. She is not Oya. Oya is not Santa Muerte, and vice versa. Like I feel like there's too much mixing and matching, and people are talking about you can do this, you can do that. Like I just feel like everybody should just play their role and just if you're devoted to Santa Muerte, stick to Santa Muerte. Don't mix ATRs. If you do ATRs and Santa Muerte or anything else, like you already know your soperas can be nowhere, but you already know where they gotta be somewhere very like in a living room or something like that. Don't mix and match. Cause all you're gonna do is just fuck yourself up in the end. So I feel like a lot of people are doing it, and I feel like not to be funny, but it's majority of the people that are Wicca. They see like audition and they have these dreams of being Oshun or Oya or a child of Elegua, and they want these altars, and they're not official altars. Like, we don't pray to statues. Like, that's not what we do. Like, you know, you have to be initiated. Like, we have soperas into it. Like, you have to go through ceremony and stuff like that. So just because you see a statue of Elegua, that doesn't mean that vessel is Elegua vessel. A lot of people don't understand that, and that's why a lot of people are messing themselves up. And I feel like, you know, just don't do it. That's it. Just don't do it. If you don't know about it, ask about it. You know what I mean?
That's true. Real talk, you guys. It's easier, I think, not to get into something than it is sometimes to get out of something that is just fucked up. Because we see it. We see a lot of people that get into something and it's like, okay, I fucked up. What do I do now? What do I do? So I think sometimes, you know, you got to find the elder. If you really are serious about it and you want to learn the right way. Learn the right way. There's certain spirits, you can't put them on the same altar. There's certain things that you just cannot do.
Ask my student Alyssa. I tell her all the time. I said they better stop that bullshit.
It's true. It kind of comes to that case, and I wasn't even going to bring it up about the girl with Papa Legba, but we look at the picture, we see that she supposedly is doing, the first thing that got me was summoning Papa Legba. Then the next thing was the doll. And then I was like, okay, what the fuck? What happened? Because none of it made any sense. And people were speaking on it like, okay, yeah, this is voodoo. This is what we do. And I was like, that is no fucking voodoo. That's not what we do. But
I think I seen your comment. I think I seen your comment on one, like a group. You're like the Loa. You say the Loa can come, like you just can't summon the Loa or something like that.
Yeah, you know, we don't just like.
I like, oh shit.
You don't do that. You know, people think, oh, you know, you snap your finger and you know Danto comes through. No, she don't. No, she don't. And if you think you're gonna snap your finger and she's gonna come through, you're gonna get knocked in the head.
Oh no,
there's certain ways with spirit you have to go in respectful. You have to go in respectful. You can't just come in like, oh, you my slave, you working for me. I'm gonna put some water on your altar and do this and that. It's not that way. People think it is. I think the Instagram altars are fucking with people. They thinking this shit is pretty with glitter and dazzling lights and all that stuff like that. And it's not. You can make it nice, but it's not all butterflies and rainbows. Certain spirits are hot. They don't fuck around. and you learn the hard way.
And that's because people see everything as a controlled energy. They don't see it as an ancestral spirit. They don't see it as an actual spirit that can come and fuck your life up. They see it as an energy that they can just summon by a name and a piece of paper with a symbol on it and some fruits and some vegetables, and then bam, bam, boom, this man gonna love me. Because that's the only reason they do that shit for, is love. They just want to fuck a man life up or spiritually rape a person, because that's usually what it is, because the person don't want you no more. And
literally, all you need is a dick candle. You can get you some barbed wire. You can get you some pins. You can get you a candle. You don't have to make an altar to that to fuck somebody's dick up. I mean, but come on.
They feel if they want to see if it's more powerful.
I feel like my attacked low key.
Huh?
I feel like my dick is about to be attacked now.
What'd you say? I don't put the recipe out there.
You said that shit so confident. I'm like,
for real.
For the record, I have never fucked with somebody's dick. Never ever. Because you never know when you might call it back. You never know. So you would just leave it alone. Let it be.
You should be up there. Oh, mandingo.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. We don't do that around here in this camp. Now, we coming up on the last 5 minutes. So, TaTa Campu, I'm going to let you close out. Thank you. First of all, I want to say this has been so freaking good. The energy was good. You know, everybody really they got quiet. You mesmerized people. Literally, this is the first time that I've seen this where people are kind of like, not really asking any questions at all. So you literally came over and mesmerized.
He got that fresh baby face.
That you made the time to do this. Thank you so much.
He got that fresh baby face. That why people still got to know him. He ain't aged yet. Y'all.
No, I appreciate. All jokes aside, I appreciate you guys for having me. You guys have a bomb ass show. I look forward to fucking with you guys in the future on the comments.
Oh yeah.
You know, I look forward to learning from both of you guys, because if I'm not learning, you know, I'm not growing. So I don't know it all, but I'm learning from each and every one of you guys on here. People that have asked questions, I'm grateful you guys ask questions. You guys have anything, my DM's always open. Remember, I'm respectful, so if you're gonna be in my DMs talking about you trying to smash, I ain't gonna respond to that. I'm very respectful to everybody in the community, you know, and I just want to say thank you for everybody, and salam alaikum, alaikum salam.
Oh, thank you. No, wait, before, what's your website? I know we put it in the comments, but for people who are trying to get with you or order online, especially for the mask, you guys, go ahead, because I'm gonna get my mask. I'm serious, I ain't no joke. Get your mask, hit them up. What's your website?
The website is Ave de Caminos Botanica, is ABRECAMINOSBOTANICA.com. So it's AveDeCaminosBotanica.com. Whatever you guys need. If I don't got it, I'll get it for you. And that's basically it. And if you guys don't follow me, add me, TaTa Campu on Facebook, or Botanica Ave de Caminos on IG.
Okay, I gotta get with you on IG. I don't think I follow you on IG. I know Facebook.
No, I follow you on IG. Divina Tarot. Yeah, got you.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and check. Normally I try to do a follow back, but I'm not sure, but I'll go back and check. But I don't know what happened to Sherwin. I don't know if Sherwin disappeared, but thank you so much. Have a good evening. We will talk again soon. We got to do it with Candelo, you and Sherwin next time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Candelo. God damn it.
I just want to even see it go back and forth. All right, TaTa. Mad love for you. Be safe, okay?
You too, Mama. Have a great night.
Thank you. Bye. Get some questions in. So, Sherwin, you came up with the idea. You said, I want to have TaTa Campu